So recently some news has been surfacing about the new Battlefield game, and with that so much speculation has brewed. As you all know, I'm really excited about the next Battlefield because I really want to have a game where I can just get into a tank or a helicopter again, as I did with Battlefield 4. Battlefield 1 is a lot of fun, but just doesn't quite deliver the same sort of excitement that Battlefield 3 and 4 did for me. So for this video I'll try and keep it short. All the information here is not confirmed, it is a leak, and I highly suggest that you don't take any of it too seriously, although I would mention that the guy who came up with this info predicted Battlefield 1's setting and general material very accurately. I'd say to at least 95% accuracy. It's for this reason that I'm making the video, as I don't really enjoy speculating on leaks that are quite obviously made up. So the guy in question, his channel will be linked down below, or the video will be anyway. He seems to believe that the next Battlefield will be called Battlefield Bad Company 3. This was one of the predictions I made in a previous video stating the other options were either World War II or modern day. The setting for Bad Company 3 would be a mid to post Vietnam conflict and isn't historically accurate. This is the case with most Battlefield titles, so not having the historical accuracy is a good thing. It frees DICE up and allows them to change things to their liking, which is especially awesome, seeming as though this area in time was where weapons and technology were advancing, as always through the 20th and 21st century, but at this point in time it does give DICE an opportunity to bring in some interesting weapons and possibly some very cool DLC content, as they did with Battlefield 4 with the Final Stand DLC. So the modes in question will be Conquest Rush, Operations, Domination, TDM, and a 5v5 mode. You could probably come up with this sort of stuff and people would see it as quite a predictable and almost accurate way of looking at the modes for the next Battlefield game. I like the fact that Conquest, Rush and Operations are all there. For me, these ones are incredibly popular in BF4 and BF1, obviously Operations, not so much in BF4 because it doesn't exist, and Rush not so much in BF1, but together as a collective they are very popular. Domination and TDM, great infantry modes, and a 5v5 mode could pave the way for competitive play. Will it be linked to incursions, or will it be linked to the older stuff like Obliteration in Battlefield 4? I don't really know. The guns in the next Battlefield are going to be similar to BF4 in terms of their customization. I think this is a great turn if it happens to be true, because I want to see more customization on weapons as we had in previous Battlefields. BF1, I do like the variant system, but it doesn't really have that much excitement and content creation possibilities. You can't really go and say, although I have tried, this is the worst loadout in Battlefield 1, because you just don't have the options. As for vehicles, we can expect to see modern tanks, LAVs, helicopters, you name it, it'll be there. I'm really pleased that this could occur in the next Battlefield, because I've had to keep my feet on the ground a lot of the time when playing Battlefield 1, and going back to Battlefield 4 is just a really nice change of pace with the tanks and LAVs. Conquest is a lot different. I know you get tanks and planes in Battlefield 1, but it's just not the same, so I'm really looking forward to this change. The name is of course Battlefield Bad Company 3, if this prediction is to be taken seriously. I don't really think this is a massive issue. I mean, it's probably not going to be similar to Bad Company 2, the movement system and weapons will all be different, the maps will probably be slightly larger and it won't just be rush based, although of course there are other game modes, but it was rush based Bad Company 2. I don't think this will annoy any of the die-hard Bad Company 2 players. I think it's been such a long time since that game came out that people will have got over it and just be looking forward to a new game. And to be honest, it's only a name. Battlefield Bad Company 3, it could be called Battlefield 2018, it could be called Battlefield 5, it could be called Battlefield Vietnam or Battlefield Cold War, whatever they want to call it. They can just change the name, it's just a few letters. They're looking for something that will really sell the game as best as possible, and Bad Company 3 could be very hypeable, if that's even a word. Something very interesting that Almighty Dak mentioned, and that's the guy that came up with this leak, was microtransactions. Apparently, according to him, they won't be a thing, at least for now, and it won't follow the same path as the highly controversial Star Wars Battlefront 2. Let's hope this is true, and that EA has learned a lesson or two from what happened in Battlefront 2. I, for one, think that game was let down by that model. The game itself is quite fun from what I've seen, people seem to enjoy it, but the amount of players online is very low, the amount of people who bought the game is very low, and it almost can be classed as a failure, purely because of the Reddit posts that destroyed the game due to its microtransactions and poor progression system that was all linked into getting the consumers' money out of their pocket. Again, I'm going to link the video that goes through all of the information below. I want you guys to look at it and I want you guys to make up a decision. This is just me telling you my opinion on what I think could be quite a realistic and quite a decent prediction. He did get Battlefield 1 right, and everything in here sounds pretty reasonable. I don't think that we could be expecting something too different for what he's come up with. The name Battlefield Bad Company 3, that's the only thing that really takes me by surprise. The fact it's going to be in a Vietnam or slightly post-Vietnam era is not surprising. The fact they're bringing back customization, going with those game modes, having no microtransactions and bringing vehicles back in, it really doesn't surprise me at all. If true, would you want Bad Company 3? Or would you rather DICE release a direct sequel to Battlefield 1 and maybe go to, I know they probably couldn't call it Battlefield 2, but something straight after Battlefield 1, maybe going for a World War II game? Or would you prefer they went for something closer to modern day or even futuristic? Let me know in the comments below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video.